Hey, this is Jamie from Green River Ordnance. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Hello, welcome back. It's 9:37 of a morning, Wednesday morning. Hump day, they call it. Remind of that commercial where you have the camel walking to the office. Hey, Mike, what day is it? You seen that one?
Oh, it's Hump Day?
Yeah.
No, I never seen it, but I already got the joke.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Sounds like a really good commercial.
Well, I think it was a Super Bowl commercial, actually. Somebody paid like millions of dollars to create that. A CGI camel walking through an office going, hey, Mike, guess what day it is?
That's when that company who paid the company to make it didn't pay top dollar.
I still say the best Super Bowl commercial ever. It was during the .com craze, and I'll say it was GoDaddy. I'm sure it wasn't, but it just had like some monkeys in a zoo pen playing around for 30 seconds, and at the end, this text pops up going, "Well, we just blew $3 million."
Hey, so you don't even know what it was. So it
Yeah,
really wasn't.
the logo at the very end, but yeah, that was great. So that was
cool.
a bad representation of money management, but we have someone in the studio that might turn us around on that. You like that segue? See what I did there?
It's okay.
See, I took it from John McClane to actual, treasury issues. Because I'm cool like that.
I told you about the alternative ending to Die Hard with a Vengeance, right?
You know what?
Where he flies to Germany and finds Simon.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that like...
There's an alternative ending to it.
Did they actually shoot it?
Yeah. Oh, full out. There's a whole special effects scene. He shoots a rocket launcher through him. It's really cool. I'm not kidding.
Oh, wait, yeah, you didn't.
They play like Russian roulette with the rocket launcher.
That's right.
And they play Simon Says.
Because when I have a rocket launcher, the first thing I want to do is spin it around.
Because he's like, John, the directional arrows are scratched off, and he's like, well, yeah, and he spins it. I'm telling you, it's really great.
Good Lord Almighty.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's a great morning.
I suppose we should talk, treasure candidacy.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's our whole bait and switch. You go, yeah, you want to come in and we're gonna talk about X-Files. It premieres tonight. Did you know that?
Die Hard. Yeah.
What's wrong with Die Hard, right?
It's just been a long time since I've seen one, Dick.
Well, it's been a long time. Well, I was just mentioning because I saw the newest of the newest one, and it was just so bad. And
Die Hard?
Yeah, the newest one. I don't know what it's called. It's not Live Free or Die Hard.
There's one after that one?
Yes, there is. I'm not kidding you. And it was like a direct-to-video kind of. Oh yeah, Mr. Dramatic over here. But we have Melanie Bush in the studio, and she is running for county treasurer. So we're going to learn a lot about that, and learn about why you should consider voting for her. How about that? There we go.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, it's a kind of a gloomy morning. That's not as bad as yesterday.
It's bright and sunny.
It's sleepy last night.
It's crisp.
Yes.
It's crisp.
Everyone.
It's crisp and wiry.
I know my fiance's happy because she can finally wear those cute clothes she always wanted to wear because she has cold weather clothes and it's never cold here. So.
No, I'm happy with that.
Whereas most Houstonian women are struggling for things to wear right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, they got to dig through the closet.
We've got to go find our cold weather clothes.
That was 2 sizes ago.
Clothes.
Mississippi went through that. She's digging through the closet for her winter wardrobe. It's like, oh, great.
I'll just wear 3 shirts. Right?
That works. I love it because I pointed out I get to wear my really badass Matrix jacket here. We can say that. I checked with the FCC rules, but
okay.
I'll change it.
I'll just stare at you with piercing eyes. Really?
Piercing eyes? My really cool-looking Matrix
Well, we don't want to associate that kind of talk with Melanie.
Okay.
So,
let's
move on to something more educational.
Than my jacket?
And then your BA jacket. Okay?
Okay.
So, county treasurer, from what I understand of the position, is an elected position, and you are in charge of basically the spreadsheets and all the background to the money the county spends and collects and all that kind of stuff.
Correct.
Man.
Hopefully not on spreadsheets, though.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how they do it these days. They might.
Is this a Microsoft Excel thing where you just?
Hold on. So, what do they use? Do we know?
There is an accounting software. Right now, the one that the county is using is fairly antiquated, and they have been looking at updating. So
Yeah, well, I know that's one of
hopefully-
like the hardest things for companies to do, especially with the bookkeeping business. I imagine it's like, all right, do we do it or not? Do we go upgrade or not? And then everyone's kind of used to this, or
Well, it's always a fine line. You have to
It is.
justify the expense.
It is, but at some point when you're in 2018 now and have manual timesheets or cannot view reports without printing them, it's time for an upgrade.
Wow. And I was complaining that we don't have hovering cars, but
they had to print their reports.
I know, right? On dot matrix printers too.
Oh man, can you imagine before the meeting? Sorry, we can't start the meeting. We got to print everything out, guys. And then it's like,
And get the 14-pound toner cartridge because it runs out.
Not quite that bad, but
No, you're right though. I mean, there are things to look at, especially with you in the background of being the better bookkeeper.
yes, there's some innovation that needs to occur.
And so, which is kind of interesting because when I saw that you announced you were running for, it, I was like, well, that's kind of a given, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Well,
I meant
let's talk
like
about our history
I
and
meant like the
experience.
qualifications of it.
Well, I don't know the qualifications, so let's find out.
Well,
Okay.
Dick and I have discussed this before when he's had me on the show,
Yeah.
and I'm very grateful for that. But I actually do own a bookkeeping business. I own Better Bookkeepers. I have been a bookkeeper on my own now for about 18 years. I started it my junior year of college.
Mhm.
I expanded in 2010 beyond a one-woman shop and went from there to now a team of hovers between 17 and 18, depending upon what,
Who she
help we need.
fires.
What help we need at the time.
Who
Thank
she
you.
fires. You know, Melanie just like comes in and gets, we got
Like
changed.
Murph-
The
like
weather's
Murphy
changed.
Brown.
The weather's changed. We're changing. You're out of here.
Oh, hardly.
Hardly? Okay.
I have a wonderful team. I have a senior bookkeeper that's been with me. It'll be actually 7 years this July.
Wow.
And then I have a manager that's been with me for, it'll be 6 years in May. So we have long-standing, but then I do have some new people. I have one that joined me in October. And so we're constantly growing. It's been a very good thing.
Cool. I'm
Well-
going to have to call them up when it
Well,
comes time to.
you can't say she
my
doesn't have
taxes.
compassion because the last person I heard she fired during this kind of weather,
Uh-huh.
she gave him a bunch of firewood. So it's like,
Oh, dear.
Oh, that's
I
sweet.
made that up.
You made that up?
I made that up.
Just say she allegedly did
You
it
were
and you're
talking
covered.
about fake news earlier.
Oh yeah, we're all about
that
it.
totally
We're all about it.
classifies, right?
All you got to do is to say allegedly and you're covered. She allegedly
That's
fires her
right.
assistant
yeah,
every week.
Let's get into that
There
one.
there are rumors.
Yeah.
Well, you've been in the business for how long again?
So it's been 18 years that I've been doing it on my own. I started at my junior year of college.
Okay.
Prior to that, my mom is an accountant. And so
Okay.
I started under her doing accounts payable and accounts receivable at 14. And then worked for some places throughout college and then ran into one of the places I worked, I was affiliated with the National Association of Women Business Owners. And so I got to meet all these wonderful women that own businesses. And they said, well, why don't you help us? You know bookkeeping. We only need 2 or 3 hours a week or a month or whatever it was. And from that, my business was born, was from other women just encouraging me to start my own
Yeah.
thing. So.
And what prompted that to go into throwing your hat in the ring for county treasurer?
County treasurer was a hard decision because I love my business and I love CISD. I've been on CISD's board for 3 years now. I'm currently president of the board, and I love what we do. But there is some innovation. There is some changes that need to occur, and
Like
I have
like the Tuesday thing at CSD, y'all ruled that?
Yes, the board is who decided on the calendar.
Is that a bad thing though? Like if you have kids, is that a bad thing?
Tuesday, you missed me. What about Tuesday?
When the kids don't go back to school till
after
Tuesday.
holiday?
Well, he's complaining that they're not going back until next Tuesday the 9th.
But I don't have kids, so it's not really a big
Yeah,
complaint.
what does this
but...
matter to you at all?
Well, I was thinking, like, when I went to school, I remember, like, right when it was, like, the 3rd. We go back to 3rd or
Yeah.
something like that.
But that all depends on also when you get out. When I grew up, we got 2 weeks, pretty much dead on.
Yeah.
10 days off of school. With the way the holiday fell this time, we actually ended school on Wednesday, so they got Thursday and Friday off.
Uh-huh.
And then they had the whole week of Christmas, and then all of this week.
Yeah.
And then they have Monday off. So they really only have 13 days as opposed to what we used to have, which was 10. And what we found in CISD is our parents tend to like having 3 weekends over the break, especially our divorced parents that are sharing custody over the holidays.
Yeah, they like
And
Denny's
so-
too.
You betcha. I
We
spent
learned
many,
that. No, we learned that.
I
Denny's
spent many a
became real
Christmas Eve.
popular because of that.
Yeah. So we've got to factor in all of our students and
Yeah.
all of our parental situations.
It's actually pretty logical.
There you
I
go.
dig it. We just need an explanation. That's all.
I will say, as a bookkeeper, I am not personally a fan of my kids not going back until the 9th. January is our busiest month
Yeah.
of the year as a bookkeeper, so that
Ah,
tends to provide some challenges
That's
for
when
me.
you just send them to boarding school.
No
So
way.
you don't have,
Or
ever have
No
to
cheaper,
pay
way.
it.
just buy a couple of cheap abaci and say, "Here, kids, figure this out."
No, but you've got to do what's best for all, not just.
See, I think
in
that's
your own
interesting because you
interest.
can apply that to county treasurer, right? Like, does the county treasurer ever make decisions that will affect things, or just internally?
It's internal.
All
It's,
internal?
more internal.
Okay.
We account for the taxpayers' money. So in that regard, it affects everybody because it's the taxpayers' money. The more efficient we are as a non-fee producing office, the better it is for the taxpayer because we can cut our budget and save money.
So, like, we
And-
don't have to print it every time. That would save us, what, $100 a month?
Uh,
Because I can't imagine how long
Depends
they're...
on which departments and how
And
many
who really-
reports and
who-
how many pages they're
Who really
printing.
reads those reports? Let's be honest. There's probably one person out of, like, the 8 who actually sits there and flips every page and goes, okay.
I look at them and I pretend to read them.
I mean,
I was gonna say, do you read your entire, like car note or your house mortgage or your paperwork when you bought your
no,
house?
that's why I
Or
pay
your-
someone else to do it.
Your iPhone terms of agreement. It's
yeah.
like 84 screens.
Or
worth,
even the terms of agreement on that latest app you downloaded.
Right.
No.
So what happens if there's like so you do a quarterly or annual budget and there's a surplus? Does it go into rebates? Do you hold on to it, rainy day fund, buy new software? What's the?
That's up to the commissioner. So that's
Okay.
not a treasurer decision. That's up to the commissioner what they do with commissioner's court, what they do with the surplus. A lot of them have funds that they hold over because they won't have spent all of their money, and the auditor is involved in putting those funds in the proper account and taking care of that. The treasurer works very closely with the county auditor and also with HR because we handle payroll for the county. So the treasurer's office, that's going to be their key relationships in the county. And then all the other departments come to them for payroll and for any of their needs.
How important is
monetarily.
it to have a relationship? Does the treasurer go to the commissioner's court and say, "Hey, commissioners, we need blank for this," or do you just show a report based on the budget they work out?
Generally, there's just reports and there's not a whole lot of going to the commissioners. Now, when there's software, when there's certain purchases that need to be made, vendor contracts, things along those lines, the treasurer, along with the auditors, involved.
Cool. See, I'm learning more every day. Learning all kinds of political tap stuff.
So we joke in our office at Better Bookkeepers that, when you learn something new, you get to go home.
When you learn something new, you get to go home. I'm
Which-
never going
which
home.
Was that something new for CISD too?
You learn how to do your homework, you get to go home.
I'm just saying that's a running joke in our office at
Okay.
Better Bookkeepers. My staff always tease that, hey, I learned something new. I can go home now.
Right? I never get to go home. Cool. Are we gotta go to break, or we?
We can just go all the way till 10
Awesome. Sounds
because
good.
we want to give her as
Fun.
much time as possible.
All right. So a question I have, because some of the races, there are a couple judicial races where there's not even an opponent.
Correct.
So we had Claudia Laird in the other day and reminding her she needed to vote for herself. Or
Yeah,
something
I'm
really
glad I
embarrassing.
asked that because I was like, so what you're just gonna be it, right? It's like, well, if someone's got to vote for me, like at least
She's
one
got to
person.
get at least one vote.
Yeah.
Yes.
And wouldn't you just be the one that she oversleeps, misses the polls, and just like, oh my God, please tell me
I feel
somebody
like
else in
I
the
feel
universe
like that
voted
would be
for
the
me.
job of a mom or like a dad or
Honey,
a kid
honey,
or a
wake up, go
husband.
vote for yourself. I don't
or a
want to
wife.
vote for myself.
When,
Don't worry, honey,
when
I'd
does
save it to you.
adulthood kick in then, Dick?
You know what's funny? It's when the frontal cortex is fully developed. That's my answer to that. So it's like 22,
Okay.
23.
Okay.
See, and then you get to be my age, and it's like back the way it was. So I'm exempt from all bad decisions.
So that's why early voting is very important.
Mhm.
Because what if something does happen? If you say you're going to go vote, you're going to go vote. Well, then what if something did happen?
And AAA didn't come.
AAA didn't come
Yeah.
and you missed getting to go to the polls on election day.
You
Then your
find out
vote
you
didn't
can't reach your
count.
battery. Yeah.
So, the 2 weeks of early voting, I think, is a very positive thing.
Right, and that starts in late February, so it's like right around the corner. But as I was saying, some of these races, like I said,
Yeah.
are,
And you don't even need your voter card. Like, why even bother?
well, you need some kind of ID.
You got to have ID now.
Yeah. But like, why even bother?
Why
You
even?
can't laminate it,
Here, Dick, just give me your.
and you can't fold it, and like it
Yeah,
tears up.
he's still
Okay.
he's still heard about that.
Let's.
I'm just trying to make. I'm gonna do grassroots. We gotta change the way we do our cards.
I still should be able to laminate. I laminated my Social Security card back in 1974.
But it was legal then.
Right, I know. That's why I've got the same one.
Yeah, it was right after they developed the first car. I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
First
before
internal
Telsas,
combustion engine.
before
Right?
Telsas came on the market.
Yeah, just Telsas.
Those darn Telsas. So back to the actual, political campaign question. But county treasurer, of course, is not only a contested race, but a highly contested race. So
Surprisingly, yes.
right, which you just don't usually think that county treasurer
No.
inspires that kind of fervor. But
This is Montgomery County, man.
true. This is true. Slow news day. Hey, but I guess long story short is kind of like, what do you bring to the table? Coming in as candidates.
So the professional experience,
Yeah.
the outside bookkeeping experience is obvious. I think that's why Dick said, well, that's a given, because he knew about my professional experience. I think that we're in a time where people want those with outside experience, not just those that have come up through government ranks to step up and run for office. Obviously, leadership with CISD and what I've done there with the reappraisals, but also just having my fellow board members choose me for president. That says something about my leadership abilities and that they were willing to do that. And I'd only been on the board 2 years at that point.
Wow,
So
impressive.
I mean, we have nothing to gauge that on. So why do you say that? We don't know if that's impressive or not. There might not have been anyone on the board. It's just
Okay.
like, oh, I'm just president.
With the possible
there
exception,
are 7 of us, Dick. Thank you.
I'm just
with the possible exception of the last United States president, name me one person on the planet who becomes president 2 years after doing nothing.
Well, I didn't do nothing.
Well, no, I mean,
Oh.
do
This is going
nothing,
great.
and then within 2 years of starts doing something. He was a sophomore senator. It'd only been 2 years. Never mind. Moving on.
Are you talking about
The
the
previous
44th president of the United States?
Yeah, 44.
You always got to bring it back to 44, don't you?
Yeah,
Okay. No, I got a question for you that's political.
Okay.
I'm waiting for it.
So, with this kind of race, how do you distinguish yourself to a non-educated voter on what's going on with the? How do you do that?
So one of the keys with this race is educating people on the treasurer's office, on what the office even does. A lot of people don't realize they handle the bail bond administration. And so that's one thing that people don't realize goes through the treasurer's office. There's been a lot of issues lately. The Courier even had an editorial on whether or not we still need an elected treasurer. There's been a lot of media prior to me even deciding to run with regards to this position in particular. Deciding to run was based on what we truly feel is a need for that independence, that integrity, and change, reform, the innovation that we talked about. We need to be the most efficient possible.
Well, especially with the growth rate of Montgomery County.
Exactly. And there's been a lot of, talk about how the county's grown at a certain level and the county government has grown at a higher level. Well, your non-fee producing offices, those that are not bringing in money to the county, this is our time to rise and to shine and to truly cut our budgets and to look at what we're doing and to see, hey, can we do this smarter and make a more substantial impact on the county? So that's one of the things I bring to the table. How do you get that message out? One of the main ways is social media. Elections have changed. Even since I ran for school board 3 years ago, elections have changed. It is so much more driven by social media. And so it is getting that message out. But don't discount the face-to-face. It's those meet and greets. It's seeing people. It's getting to talk to them one-on-one. Things like this is absolutely beneficial, but you need to make those connections. And so social media, coming on here, print media, that drives people to learn more about you and then make hopefully the connection and decide that you're the best candidate.
So anybody listening in right now, assuming I think we have like 1 or 2 listeners last I checked. Yeah, Dick agrees. We're up to 2. Woohoo! We've doubled our listenership.
I found something for you. It's airsign.com. You can tow a banner over Houston and the northern area, and we can just get your face on it. That's face-to-face, right?
No.
You wouldn't want that?
No. And
we could get those Navy.
not to mention the fact that would probably not be very fiscally responsible.
Oh!
I know people will be talking about it.
They might be talking about it, but how much would it cost and what would be the impact?
I'm checking for you right now.
Okay, forget the towed banner. Remember those Navy pilots who were drawing body parts in the air a couple of weeks ago? Let's hire these guys because I'm sure they're looking for new jobs now to like write her name in the air. That's a significant return on investment.
If you would like to sponsor that for me, I would be more than happy
I
to
would
cover that
not
cost.
let me be in charge of that.
Yeah.
Because I'll have too much fun on it.
Yeah, bearing in mind who we'd be hiring, those same fighter pilots who are drawing bad things in the sky.
Oh, they do skywriting.
Yeah, awesome. That's what I'm talking about. So, assuming we have a couple of listeners still listening to us, if they wanted to,
what we're trying to come up with creative ideas to educate people about the county treasury seat. Okay.
Okay.
And once they find out, how do they get in touch with you?
So obviously Facebook is the main way. So Facebook, Melanie Bush Campaign, but also my website, Melanie Bush Campaign. Both of those have ways to reach out and contact me. But in addition to that, we're actually having an event tomorrow night at Madera Estates up on Fraser. And we would love to have everyone come out 5:30 to 8 and meet me, and let's talk about the future of Montgomery County and continuing to be the best county in the state and ideally in the nation.
Cool. And of course, we have to ask Bush, any relation?
Have an uncle named George W., but not that one.
You could have just stopped with the first half of that. Saying, well, I have an uncle named George W. Bush, and we're just going to leave it at that.
And I have a cousin named Laura.
Okay, you really see, and stop
But
there.
not that one.
No, just stop. Period. Right there. Don't
great.
follow through.
Sean, that's a plus and negative depending upon who you talk to.
You're in
That's
Montgomery
true.
County.
I mean,
That's true.
you're in Montgomery County. Yes, the last name's a good thing, but to some people, it's not.
There you
so,
go. As long as you don't have a brother named Jeb, I think you're okay.
I'm good on that.
Awesome. So it's MelanieBushCampaign.com.
Yes, .com.
.com. And Melanie and Bush are, I think, spelled the way they sound. So.
Well, there you go.
Awesome.
Well, Melanie, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank y'all.
And laughing with us
I
and enjoying
appreciate
the
it.
morning.
Hopefully it was more fun than
And
last
we
time.
learned a
you were on
lot.
the deck.
We learned a lot. And if you're just now tuning in, we have Melanie Bush in the studio, and we podcast everything.
Mm-hmm.
So check us out on iTunes, YouTube, and all that kind of stuff. We do have another special guest coming in next. We have Tanya Nero coming in, talking about the 30th annual Dr. King celebration on January 15th over there at the Woodlands United Methodist Church. So stick around for that.
That's a wonderful event. If
And-
you haven't gone, everyone should.
Well, we're going to find out about it.
Well, good.
So
Thanks
maybe
for the spoilers.
let me decide, okay? All right. Thank you so much, Melanie.
Thank
What's
you.
the website again?
MelanieBushCampaign.com.
MelanieBushCampaign.com. Get out an early vote or vote on the day just to make sure you get there. How about that?
Be
That's
conscientious. Vote twice.
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you for that, Sean. We'll be right back here on Mornings with Lone Star on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. This show is brought to you by Conroe Coffee, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, and Centurion Wealth Advisors. Stick around. We're going to hear a message from them in a couple tunes.
Clean Sweep Office Cleaning has been Montgomery County's business cleaning service since 2002, offering professional office cleaning in areas such as restroom, stairwells, elevator, floor care, pretty much every angle of your office. One-time cleaning is available, but you will want these guys back. Offering daily, weekly, monthly scheduled cleanings, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning works around your business needs. Schedule a cleaning today online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936-CONROE-C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
Centurion Wealth Advisors is a veteran-owned business that focuses on building and preserving our clients' wealth while guiding them to achieve their financial goals. This is where your concerns get addressed and help you start to breathe easier. Discover us in downtown Conroe, Texas. Visit our website at centurionwa.net or reach us by phone at 936-756-1974. Centurion Wealth Advisors. Now let's get your financial house in order.
Thank you for checking out this production of Lone Star Community Radio. Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station. Don't forget to check out this show and many others across the Lone Star Community Radio Network, either live on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, the Lone Star Internet Radio app, or irlonestar.com's live audio stream, and on replay on podcast, Channel 12's Our City TV in Conroe, or Channel 21 KVQT in Houston, and of course their YouTube channel. This production is copyrighted and all rights are reserved by Lone Star Community Radio. Have a question regarding this program or other Lone Star Community Radio shows? Want to sponsor or start your own show? Call the station message line at 936-647-3776 or email the station at lscrstudios@gmail.com.